Good morning, Taiwan, and thank you for sharing your day with us. I am Louisa Lee. 欢迎收看 Louisa 报报，每天给你最新奇、最有趣的新闻。U.S. President Barack Obama addresses his concerns about the terrorism in Yemen, saying that the counterterrorism efforts will continue in the country following the deadly attack on troops during a military parade rehearsal for the Unification Day. And an al-Qaeda-linked group has since claimed responsibility for the bombing in the heart of Yemen's capital, which killed close to 100 soldiers while wounding scores more. 也门发生爆炸案，造成近100士兵死亡。美国总统奥巴马表示，对这样的恐怖活动感到担忧。他也说，美国会继续跟也门政府合作，避免恐怖攻击再发生。
U.S. President Barack Obama raises concern about the threat in Yemen after a suicide bomber in army uniform kills more than 90 soldiers in the heart of the Yemeni capital Monday. An al-Qaeda affiliate threatened more strikes if a U.S.-backed campaign against militants in the frontline state did not stop.
We are very concerned about al-Qaeda activity and extremist activity in Yemen. A positive development has been a relatively peaceful political transition in Yemen, and we participated diplomatically along with Yemen's neighbors in helping to lead to a political transition, but the work is not yet done.
The attack, which also wounded more than 200 people, underscored the threat Yemen faces in its fight to dislodge Islamist militants entrenched in the south and threatening vital shipping lanes in the Gulf of Aden. The United States is increasing its military support for Yemen's government, and the U.S. military has itself targeted militants in Yemen using drones, which have frequently killed civilians and are deeply resented.
I think one of the things that we've learned from the Afghanistan experience is for us to stay focused on the counterterrorism issue, to work with the government, to not overextend ourselves, to operate smartly.
Monday's attack, along with an ambush on Sunday on a U.S. military training team, indicated the militants' campaign could be entering a dangerous new stage in Yemen, which borders oil giant Saudi Arabia.
And the government is giving the people another reason to be upset, on top of the grim economy and the low unemployment rate that's hitting a record high in Spain. Sarcastically, the residents of Madrid put on their most fancy attires to protest the increase of subway fares because it's now a luxury they cannot afford. 西班牙最近出现了一场很特别的像嘉年华的抗议活动，民众穿上他们最正式、最漂亮的衣服，集合在地点站，要抗议 Madrid 是否调涨地铁票价。民众认为政府的紧缩政策已经让他们的日子很难过了，调涨票价根本就是让地铁变成有钱人才坐起的交通工具。
As many world leaders are proposing austerity measures to solve the European debt crisis, a few hundred of demonstrators in Madrid staged a protest in the city's metro system to express their discontent over the government's plan to up the metro prices on top of the austerity measures. Protesters dressed in their best clothes and equipped with their best sense of irony gathered at the Madrid metro under the slogan, "Traveling on the metro is a luxury."
I want them to know that our salary is not enough, that we cannot live with the minimum wage, and on top of that have metro prices up. We cannot make it to the end of the month, and they hike the price to top it off. So this is so they realize that in Spain and in the world, we cannot carry on like this.
The protest organizer, Youth Without Future, said that with a non-violent, civil and all glamour and elegant protest, they wanted to highlight that the price hikes in the metro will only make subway an unaffordable luxury for the working class, as Spain is going through a series of austerity measures that are carried out to address the country's economic crisis. With increased prices and upped taxes, people are forced to live with a minimum wage, and riding on the Madrid metro is like riding on the Orient Express, the luxury European railway service. The authorities in Madrid have instituted the highest hike in metro prices in 10 years, with 10 ticket pass increasing from €9.30 to €12, a 30% increase. Metro tickets to the airport were doubled in price, with a cost of up to €5. Participants were asked to take non-alcoholic beverages in champagne glasses to the subway in order to have party-like atmosphere on the 2-hour metro ride. The peaceful demonstration was considered by many protesters as a way of making the action more appealing to people, even though it was unlikely to lead the Madrid local government to lower metro prices.
This is the type of pacific sort of action that maybe won't have those tangible results. The prices of the metro won't necessarily go down because as a result of a protest of this nature, but if anything, it raises consciousness and it gets the message out there to people. This is the type of demonstration that is a lot more accessible for people. It makes them maybe feel more at ease joining this sort of movement.
Spain has been in the eye of the Eurozone crisis as investors fear contagion from Greece. Spain is trying to avoid a bailout as experienced by Greece, Portugal and Ireland.
And it may be more sensitive than your other half. The new computer program established by Palestinian students can tell whether someone is in a good mood or not by interpreting one's facial expression and muscle movement. 巴勒斯坦的学生发表了一个电脑软体，可以侦测人的面目表情，来得知这个人的情绪是高兴还是难过。
Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas is looking jolly, but Bush is upset. Or maybe just confused? Students at the Palestine Polytechnic University in the West Bank are finding out, using a new computer program they've devised as part of their studies. It detects feelings from facial expressions and movements. Abdul Fattah Najjar is the project supervisor.
Still photos show the emotions of humans around the world, and smiles and anger are common to everyone, so we are trying to recognize all these emotions.
An easy task for a human being, but complicated for a machine. The students spend 6 months on their program and say it can even analyze the overall mood of a person, beyond what can be seen in a photograph.
This kind of software is already being used in Berlin, but we decided to develop it. We'd like to be able to measure the age and sex of a person, as well as their feelings.
It's not the latest tagging app for Facebook yet, but students have high hopes for their software. They are now seeking funds to develop it further and are working on making it downloadable onto mobile phones. Former Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat would probably have been impressed. He's clearly not in this photo.
And it is the longest-running film franchise of all time, and that's because we can't get enough. In Skyfall, the 23rd James Bond movie, Daniel Craig returns for the 3rd time as the world's most looked-upon globe-trotting spy who's never short of weapons and women. Now we have the first look at the heart-pounding trailer starring Berenice Marlowe as the new Bond girl and Javier Bardem as the villain. And do pay close attention because not much is said, but only a few words from Agent 007 that will keep you guessing. 年底即将上映最新的007电影《Skyfall》预告片已经曝光了。今天早上，Louisa报报带你抢先来看。
Country, England. Gun, shot. Agent, provocateur. Murder, employment. Skyfall. Skyfall. Done. Some men are coming to kill us. We're going to kill them first.
And Skyfall is scheduled to hit cinemas on November 9th. And that's it for this edition. I am Louisa Lee, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Meanwhile, stay with CTS for the latest weather update and for more top stories.